Out in space, our heroes continue their fight, hitting the Necro Star with everything that they have. But as Shazam tries to fling magical lightning at the beast, one of the spores dives into his mouth. He is overtaken and begins to lash out at Wonder Woman. The Necro Star has control of Shazam, Donna warns the group, but suddenly there's a voice in her mind. Let me see what I can do about that, Gar says as a small green starro floats past her. It flies into Shazam's mouth, ripping the Necrospore free. Yeah, I think I got this, the little Gar says as it rips the spore apart, and the heroes look down in wonder at the massive green starro that was once Beast Boy floating in space to challenge the Necro Star. But you're probably wondering how we got to this part of the story. This is the first major event in Titans happening in comics. The Beast World event. The only story that really sets this one up is the conclusion to Night Terrors. Other than that, you just need to understand who the Titans are, a group of former sidekicks run by Nightwing. This is Comicstorian. I make audio dramas of your favorite comic books so that you know what to add to your collection, and today we're going to be looking at Titans Beast World issue number 1. If you enjoy this type of content, look for us on Spotify or look for our sister channel, Comicstorian Full Story. Now let's get into issue number 1. Brother Eternity stands before the people of Earth, broadcasting to every electric device, promising that the next step in humanity's history has arrived. Across the solar system, the Forevernauts have touched down on the moon of Titan. It's there that they begin the mission of colonizing it for mankind, but the Forevernauts are shocked to discover a structure on Titan. It looks like a temple, one of the Forevernauts says over the radio. Brother Eternity tells them to continue forward, that they will be protected by their faith. As the Forevernauts venture inside, they discover strange writing on the walls. Brother Eternity commands them to broadcast his signal to the moon. Then he begins to speak in a strange language. Meanwhile, at Titan's tower, the Titans watch this historic broadcast, but Starfire jumps to her feet as she recognizes the words. Those words! He's speaking the language of my ancestors! He's speaking the ancient Tamaranian, she says in shock. Nightwing quickly gets on the radio asking Oracle for Brother Eternity's location while he orders the rest of the team to prepare to move. Meanwhile, back on Titan, the surface of the moon begins to shake. The Forevernauts rush out of the temple trying to get back to their ship, shouting for Brother Eternity's help. And on Earth the man smiles. That is not my name. Back at the tower, Nightwing orders his team to move. Cyborg opens up a boom tube to the moon, and he, Starfire, and Donna Troy and Raven move through it. In moments, the powerful heroes are headed down to the surface of Titan, where they discover the Forevernauts have been frozen to death. Cyborg takes a quick scan of the surface. Gravitational waves are much stronger on the surface. Rhythmic. He reports to the team. It's Raven who reaches out with her powers, sensing another mind on Titan. She suddenly pauses, her eyes opening with fear as she realizes the truth. It's a heartbeat, she shouts, and the surface begins to split open beneath their feet as the heroes leap into the sky heading into space. As they reach for the safety of the void, Starfire turns around realizing what has happened. I know what this is. It's not a moon, it's a prison for a god, she whispers. Far below them, the moon of Titan explodes outward, revealing massive tentacles of a space creature, its gaping, tooth-lined maw reaching outward. We must go, Starfire says to her friends. What? We can't just leave this thing here, Donna shouts, but Starfire explains that the creature is an ancient god who can take control of their bodies. It cannot be allowed to seize our power, she says, so Cyborg prepares a bomb back on Earth, and Starfire shakes her head. No. First, we need the Tamaranian archives, she says, and an hour later, Starfire is standing before a gathering of Earth's heroes in Titan Tower. She explains to them that the creature is known as the Necro Star. 30 million years ago, her people tried to stand against the Conqueror, but they failed. It took the might of Starro to finally weaken the Necro Star, and for her people to be able to freeze it into a prison and send it out into the cosmos. Superman looks up with his vision, peering into space. I see it. The Necro Star has passed Jupiter. It's like an hour away at most, he warns. Batman leaps into command mode, ordering the heroes to do what they can to slow the creature down while the rest of them search for Starro. But Beast Boy steps up, and he tells the Dark Knight that he kind of has an idea. Batman folds his arms as he looks at the young hero. You kind of do? You're gonna have to do a lot better than that. Batman begins, but Raven steps forward to help her boyfriend. It would be a shame to lose our whole planet because of your negativity, Batman. I know Gar's mind. The plan requires sacrifice, but it is sound. He doesn't need to be spoken to like a child. He's not one of your Robins. Batman pauses for a moment before turning to Nightwing. This is your call. This is your team. But Nightwing doesn't even hesitate. I trust my team completely. What do you need, Gar? Beast Boy pauses, and he nods his head. I need the ocean, I need Cyborg, and I need all of you to buy me some time. So later, the heroes of Earth are launching into space, preparing to give their friend the time that he needs. But the Necro Star has already launched his spores at the Earth, meaning those that can't go into space have to fight against the small creatures that are trying to take over everybody. Cyborg, Beast Boy, we're running out of time, Flash says as he dashes around, trying to rip spores out of the air. But over in the ocean, Gar has begun his plan. He knows that they can't find Starro in time, but they still need the Space Conqueror. While Cyborg flies next to him, he swims through the ocean in whale form, and Raven is also there. I can feel your fear, Beast Boy. Are you sure about this? Raven asks him. It's not like we have any other choice. Move back, he tells her, and she nods. I will move away, but I will still be with you. And with that, Beast Boy begins his transformation. Raven then appears in his mind, helping him through the pain, calming his fear, and in his mind, she holds him close. Do not think of the pain, yours or mine. Concentrate on what you must do. We will hold each other together, she says. Out in space, our heroes continue their fight, hitting the Necro Star with everything that they have. But as Shazam tries to fling magical lightning at the beast, one of the spores dives into his mouth. He is overtaken and begins to lash out at Wonder Woman. The Necro Star has control of Shazam, Donna warns the group, but suddenly there's a voice in her mind. Let me see what I can do about that, Gar says as a small green Starro floats past her. It flies into Shazam's mouth, ripping the Necrospore free. Yeah, I think I got this, the little Gar says as it rips the spore apart, and the heroes look down in wonder at the massive green Starro that was once Beast Boy floating in space to challenge the Necro Star. Hey Necro Star, get your ancient evil ass away from my planet, Garro shouts. He locks into combat with the massive monster, but his small Garros drop on Earth fighting against the spores, freeing the people that are being controlled and tearing them apart. Back out in space, Garro pushes the Necrostar clear of the Earth, allowing Cyborg to open up the boom tube. Just put it in our path, I'll do the rest, Garro mentally tells his friend. The boom tube is opened up and Garro pushes Necrostar inside. Necrostar, say hello to the Boomerang Nebula, the coldest place in the known universe, Garro says. As the cold hits the Necrostar quickly, it begins to freeze its tentacles. Garro manages to push himself away as the boom tube is closing, but it ends up cutting off one of his arms. Gar, what is it? Cyborg asks him, sensing his friend's pain. I just lost an arm in the boom tube. Don't worry, I still have 4 other ones. I'm pretty sure I can regrow that one. But we might have to do a high 4 instead of a high 5. He then points out that Cyborg should still feel bad about it. But suddenly, Cyborg has gone quiet. Cyborg? Garro asks, reaching out with his mind. He turns his massive eye towards his friend and sees a dark figure floating there, inky darkness swirling around him. Cyborg floating behind him, now unconscious. Cyborg is sleeping. Garfield Logan, I am Dr. Hate, the awfully named Dr. Hate says as an introduction. The new villain then removes his helmet, revealing his face to Gar. You? How? Gar says in shock, but Hate explains that it doesn't matter, and he holds up his arms, dark magic swirling around him, reaching out for Gar. I'm curious. Why do you fight for humanity? What did you want from them? Hate asks, but Gar tells him that he merely wanted them to be better. But his mind is already disappearing. Please, I don't want to go, Gar whispers in his mind as he retreats, and Garro takes over. Dr. Hate's eyes glow. Amanda Waller says thank you, Garfield Logan. Back on Earth, Raven looks up in shock. I can't feel Gar's mind anymore, she tells the others, but Batman looks up as a shadow falls over Earth. He's there, Batman shouts, and Raven shakes her head as a massive Garro descends upon Earth. No, he's not there, she says, knowing that all that remains of Gar's mind is the beast. The spores rain upon the Earth, taking control of everyone that they can, and they begin to get transformed into beasts. And over at Kahndaq, Black Adam tries to fight against the transformation, but the magical lightning cracks into the ground as he roars in a mindless rage. And the event known as Beast World has started in the DC universe. If you want to know what's going to happen, like and subscribe, because this story is to be continued.